musicals? Well, okay. They were more musical films rather than musicals per se. But musicals they were, if you can call it that way. Oh, musical films, musical films. Oh, I love me a musical film like The Wicker Man. What a musical film. It's a great fuel. Hello, happy Sunday. A great fuel of a film. Guess what the films were? The first of them was a DVD. Can you imagine it? It was not in the packet when we looked for it. Hollywood musicals, a 6-pack. It was sort of like there, and we found it, and I opened it up, and my parents wanted to see it, and I opened it up, and there was nothing inside, and we went, oh no. But we found one that we've been looking for about 4 years or so, but eventually we found it. It was called State Fair, and I'd never seen it before, and I never want to see it again because it's not a great film, but at least it's got a film about spring in it that I recognise. So that was number one. So that was good, State Fair, but the other two films were Better Man. It was better than I thought, better than everyone on the internet said, because they kept going, Robbie Williams, I hate him. Who is he anyway? I don't like him, even though I don't know who he is. Why should we look at that? He's not famous in America. Why do we want to see a film about a man that's... Why is he an ape? An unusual state of affairs, yes. Who is Robbie Williams? We do not want to see him. Who is Robbie Williams? Why has he got a biography about him anyway? But it was quite a good film, not as good as I thought it was going to be. But of course I have met Peter Conway, who is Robbie Williams' dad. I met him one day when I was judging a talent show in Ross-on-Wye, and he took my job. In that, I was on the judging panel with him once, but in the finale, they got him and said, you're not wanted anymore. I think we've gone through this before. I was shown the door. Yes, so Peter Conway, who ruined Robbie Williams' life. Ruined my life too! I had to move from Ross-on-Wye. I had to go and get a different job. That's nothing to do with it actually, but I did move from Ross-on-Wye very shortly afterwards. So I'm going to blame Robbie Williams' dad. Anyway. What was the film I saw? It was about music and its power to change you and its power to resonate throughout the years and make everything new and everything old. Very much like Vardaria. That's what I'm told. Vardaria. They are international superstars. They can conjure the dead. They can send you to bed. And in Sinners, there was a guitarist who was very much the same. Anyway, I won't get into it. Anyway, that was a good film. That also had got a lot of stick online. I won't give you the spoilers, but it because the thing is, Better Man has gone on to a video channel that I have accidentally signed up for, and it is free for now. And the other, Sinners, was like $19.99 last week, but it's gone down to £13. So I thought I may as well. So I asked my mum, I can spend money on it, or do you want to rent this for me, Mum? Buy it for me. She's like, whatever. So it's like a present. I got a present. So I got Sinners and we watched that. So it was a day of musical films. State Fair is a very interesting film in that it's not. It's mainly, there's like a big fat pig, literally a big pig. That's the main character, one of the main characters. And a brother and sister who are trying to find love in a state fair. And this is the thing. Americans go, what's mincemeat? I don't know what mincemeat is. Why you put meat in a pie for Christmas and then sugar? What? Well, a very important plot point in this thing that's in Iowa. I didn't know that's where Iowa. It's set in Iowa, and they're like, our state fair is almost the best state fair in the state. It's the only state fair in the state. So I think that's supposed to be ironic. And it's a Rodgers and Hammerstein, so you'd think that they'd have a higher standard of picking their projects. But no, it's like this old couple. Old, I say old. One of them's the woman's 53 and the man's 61, but they look about 97. And they are going to the state fair, and the man's got a big pig, and the woman's making some mincemeat. And they put too much alcohol in the mincemeat, and everyone gets drunk and nearly dies. Oh, the hilarity. And also, the son, he gets off with the singer, who's actually the same singer in, if you've seen Guys and Dolls, she's Miss Adelaide in that. And everyone looks so old. Like, my mother was like, oh, that woman, what's her name? Jean Crane. She's like, I think she's supposed to be playing somebody in her 20s, but she's very old, she was going. It's like, she's not. She was 20. She's dead on 20. But she does look, and it's not a voice even. It's like, why would you be in a musical if it's not your voice? I say that, though. Robbie Williams didn't do all his own singing in the biography of Robbie Williams. So interesting. So, although the guitarist in Sinners did do all his own singing, and there's a song at the end that wasn't in the main body of it, that was on the titles. Well, that's it. If you go and see it, I thought it was the end, and I was like, where? Oh, yeah. And my mum went out of the room, and I was just about to turn it off. You should really watch the titles, it turns, because I was like, that's what happened. There you go. That's a good, satisfying ending, and I decided what the ending was. And then it wasn't the ending. After a little bit of the titles comes up, there's a whole nother scene that's the actual ending. And then after the credits, there's a whole nother song that's the guitarist bloke who does his own singing and guitaring. He does. So there's an extra song. There's This Little Light of Mine, but it's not This Little Light of Mine. It's a sort of bluesy, blues funky sort of version. It's not the same version. Anyway, everyone's gone quiet. So I'm not going to spoil these things for you, but Robbie Williams' thing is about Robbie Williams, but he's an ape. You probably know that. Endless endings, exactly. It's like Lord of the Rings. It's like, that's the ending. No. Oh, that's the ending. No. Oh, that's the ending. There's a lot more endings than you would think. And I think it's actually set up for a sequel in a weird way. It was like, you'd think that would all be very final. There's a very final bit, and then there's a sort of bit after it, and then there's a bit after it. And actually it starts with the ending-ish. Like, it starts with one of the characters, you're like, and then it's like a flashback. The whole thing is like a flashback. But then it keeps going. But I enjoyed that. It's one of those films that you're like, that stays with you, because I'm like singing the song, and I was like, oh. I think because I bought it, I can see it again, and I probably will. I'll probably see it again. Also, because we've set up the new TV. We set up the old TV in the middle room, and the internet doesn't quite stretch that far. So I was faffing around. It kept stopping and starting. I think I tried to. I sort of paired it with another device, and it wasn't too bad by the end. So the picture was good. But for the first half of it, it was like, what's happening? It kept stopping, and also you couldn't see it. It was just like a gloomy, cloudy, messy. It's like everybody. It was a bright light, and you're like, I can't see anything. There's just a sort of purple haze. No, it was just like, what's happening? It's like, I should be able to see things. It's like, it's not, because it's a thing. A lot of films these days are shot in the dark, and you can't see what's happening. A lot of this at the beginning was shot in the light. You couldn't see what was happening, but it wasn't the film, because when it finally kicked in and a lot of it was in the dark, you could see perfectly fine, and it turned out that it was the internet that was the issue. It wasn't the cinematographer. The cinematographer did a splendid job at lighting up the night, and so everybody was clear as day, even though it was night. So it was definitely, because Better Man for the first half, because it happened, I thought we'd sorted it, and then it went again. But Better Man for the first half, it was just like, that was also a foggy gloom, and that cleared up at the end. Thank goodness, because you have to see the visuals, and it was just like, what's happening? There's just a blur where Robbie Williams should be. But so it sorted itself in the end. So I'd say watch Better Man, which is free at the moment if you've got the subscription service, and watch Sinners, which is cheaper at the moment, and that's good. State Fair, I'm not so much, because it is like, oh yeah, I was saying, what the son of I'm going back to explaining it because I don't want you to go and see it because I'll spoil it for you. So the son has he's like flirting with this singer at the state fair, and even though he's got a girl back home, he's immediately off with the singer, and then he gets very upset that this singer is apparently married and he didn't know, so obviously he can't end up with the singer. But he goes to a party, he sings a song at a party that somebody tries to say, hey, sing this song, and then she'll buy it, and that'll be good. I need it in. And he's a good song. He's an actual singer of the time. I didn't really recognize him. He's a bit googly eyed. Anyway, he goes to the party and sings the song, and everyone's like, that's great. And then somebody points out that he's been paid to do the song, and he punches the man and leaves. Now, ordinarily, if that had happened today, then the police would have been called and he would have been in prison for assault. But in the romantic 1940s, it's like, is it 1940s, like 1946 or something, in the romantic IUA mid-America fair musical thing, I wouldn't say it's a comedy, musical thing, he steps out of the room and is followed by this girl singer who she's only 24 and she also looks middle-aged. It's just, I think everyone smoked, and it's the hair and the makeup. She follows him out and they kiss, even though she's like, oh, you shouldn't have done that, and he's like, oh, I was just annoyed, he deserved it, and she's like, even so, and then they kiss. It's like, well, no, because if somebody had punched my friend in their face, then that will be the end of that. It's like, no, I'm not going to be like flirting with you. You've just proven yourself to be a very violent, temper-ridden, strange person. Go away. But the whole thing with the mincemeat, it's like, and the Americans say that there is no mincemeat in America. Well, in the 1940s in Iowa, in a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, there is. Is it Hammerstein or Hammerstein? I don't know. Anyway, in this it's not Rodgers and Hart, that's all I know. It's just it's a way to be romantic. You punch somebody in the face and you don't get arrested, you get a kiss out of it. And I'm not even sure what's happening. The girl of the family, who wasn't even, it's a different thing. It's Luann something is her singing voice, and she apparently who. It's usually Marnie Nixon, but it's like Luann somebody. She does a lot of people's singing voice, but she particularly does Jean Crane's singing voice. It's I had mincemeat pies. Mince pies! What a surprise! Mince pies made of raisins and quite a lot of brandy. More brandy in this one. They put so much brandy that somebody collapses and nearly dies. Oh, the hilarity. Anyway, and the pig is a big horny pig that wins a prize, and that's great. So it's like they go to a fair, the pig wins a prize, somebody gets drunk on mincemeat, the two kids get off with some people. The girl, she's very nothing. She's pretty, but she's not even singing her own songs. She gets off with this reporter who, and immediately she's like, I want to leave the farm, because she's with somebody else at the beginning, but he's a bit boring. So she's like, well, I'm going to leave the farm and go to the big city to be a housewife there instead of here. Wow, the ambition. Instead of being a farmer's wife, she's a reporter's wife, a wisecracking reporter's wife. Pretty much probably not doing anything different, staying at home and getting drunk on mincemeat. Probably is what would happen at the end of that. Great. He's a sort of madman type figure. Madman, I know. Madmen, I know, was in the 1960s. But you imagine 15 years later, that's who he became. Even though he's a reporter, he moved into advertising, and they're all drinking martinis, and she's at home. Oh, I'm so bored. And so great. that's the standard of music. So I'm very glad that they made some different musicals after that were a little bit better than that. I mean, you think it's The Sound of Music is in the book. Sound of Music, that's got an actual story. It's a bit grim. It's more in the sort of Sinners and Robbie Williams sort of dark. It's because really, it's a musical about some people having to escape from a war-torn country while the whole rise of fascism, and it's a grim story, really, a grim story, but it's happy and singing, and there's beautiful scenery, and I've been to the places where they filmed some of the things, but I didn't go to the house, but I saw it from the top of the city in Salzburg. Salzburg. We went there. I bought a chocolate bunny instead of going to Mozart's museum, and we wandered around the town square. We went up, and we were like la 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 around the town square, up the steps, and we looked over, and we were like, "That's the house. That's the house from The Sound of Music." Did we go there? No. And that's the limit of our cultural experiences of Salzburg. No operas, no culture. Just going, that's the house out of Sound of Music. Wow. Anyway, so that was fun. I got chocolate bunny, which broke on the way back home because it was April and my suitcase was squishy because it was on the coach. And so that was fun. It wasn't for me. It was so I was like, hey, my little brother will love this chocolate bunny, and he's just like, because it was broken. So that was not even a good. It's just like, oh no, the chocolate bunny broke. I thought he would be happy, but he wasn't. He was ungrateful. But I can't blame him because it was broken. And that's the problem. Really, you can't give people gifts and expect them to be grateful. Because, you know, when I like giving people gifts. I think I like giving people gifts more than receiving them. But in that, you also want them to like them. And if they don't like the gifts, then the whole thing's ruined. Because the only thing you've got out of this gift giving is the joy of seeing their little faces light up. And if their little faces go, why are you giving me this for? Then it's like, what have I done? It's like, it's not altruistic because you're getting something out of it. And if you're not getting anything out of it, then everybody's failed. It's like, if the person does not like the gift, then that is a horrible, horrible, horrible experience for everyone. And they think, you stupid person, get me this terrible gift, and they hate you, and you hate yourself. So gift giving's not that fun unless you know for sure that the person is going to appreciate that gift. See, I've been on the end of getting some gifts, and I'm not very good at getting gifts because I'm just like, oh yeah, thanks. I'm not in this for the gifts. I like you for being the person, and I feel a bit embarrassed about getting this gift. And I put the gift on the one side, and people are like, why are you not more happy about the gift that I spent ages getting you? And you're like, oh, I'm sorry. So then you feel bad and they feel bad. So it's a precarious situation. Now in Sinners, they all get a gift. At the end, it's not a gift they want. It's not a gift they appreciate. And actually, the main antagonist gets a gift. A lovely gift. A lovely gift in his head. Spoiler. You don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Anyway, everyone gets a gift, a lovely gift that they don't want, so that's fun. So it's good. It's a good film. It reminded me of, there was a Tyler Perry film that we were watching, me and my mom, on Netflix a couple of weeks ago. That was a similar sort of thing. It was like Jazzman's, I can't remember what it's called. Something similar in that it's a jazz musician and he's in the South. This is a jazz musician and he's in the South, and there's a character in that's passing for white in both films, and there's musical, and both of them have a juke joint in both films, and in both of the films stuff happens, and I don't think very much happens actually. I think in the Tyler Perry one, it's more of a melodrama in that this boy is in love with this girl who's passing for white, but his mother keeps him. Her mother takes her away, and she goes and marries somebody, and keeps the letters from. So they're not together for the longest time, and then in the end, their son, who never knew his mother's secret, and that actually this boy is actually his dad. I mean, by that time he's a man, but the original at the beginning they're a boy and a girl, and then they grow up, and it's just like timelines are a bit weird. It's like she's gone away for like 20 years or 10 years or something anyway, and so I was like trying to work out timelines in these things, and it's all a little bit mushy. And it's very mushy in Better Man too, because I was like, in 1997, Robbie Williams had a hit with Angels. In 1997, about 2 weeks before, Nicole Appleton has a hit with All Saints and Never Ever, and they've got a good big discussion about things that are happening to them, and Robbie Williams hasn't got number one yet, and he'll never be famous after leaving Take That, and oh my, there's a lot about that. And then his best friend says, I'm going to be a dad, and Robbie Williams is sad because of some things that happened around that exact same time, and it all seems to be happening at the exact same time. Everything's happening at the exact same time. And then the next thing you see, the best friend's got a child that's about 12, and it's still happening at the same time. And Robbie Williams is a star now, even though it's about 1 week after Nicole Appleton has got a number one, and they're having this argument about it. It's all a bit weird, and it's like this. Obviously, they've condensed it. It's like, unless he's a time traveler, it could be that he left Take That, and he was in this amorphous dream state, and that everything happened all at once, all of a sudden, because maybe it is everything all at once, that he meets this girl, falls in love, everything happens, start of the relationship, end of the relationship, that's the end of the relationship, then bad things happen in his family, and and then he's all right again. And I was thinking maybe Robbie Williams will turn into actual Robbie Williams at the end. So I waited, but he didn't. He stayed the same. It's like, why? My mum kept saying, why is he a monkey? I don't know. That's how he sees himself, apparently. Okay. Right. So, yeah. That is an interesting role. So it's a film recommendation show. Two recommendations. One, watch that as well, just to compare it with Sinners. Tyler Perry one and Sinners. You could bookend them really, and then also watch Colour Purple as a sort of similar themes, different themes. There's things and things and things and things. For some reason, I was expecting. Maybe because I've seen Interview with the Vampire many times, all the versions. There's an undercurrent of. I'm not telling you what sort of film it is. It's a sort of spoiler to tell you what sort of film Sinners is. It's one thing and then it's another thing. But now I've said Interview with the Vampire, you sort of know what the other thing is. Anyway, but it's a musical. Is it a musical though? It is, because I looked up the soundtrack and I was like, ooh, it's got a soundtrack album. Yes, but the soundtrack album has just got the background music on it. You also have to have so you've got the soundtrack album and there's two things. One of them's called the soundtrack album and it's got all the songs, and one of them is the score album. So you've got to be careful because in a lot of things you've got the score and the soundtrack all on the same album. Should be a double album really, but you can get the score. I like scores. I've got the Interview with the Vampire score and I listen to it and it's great. And also I've got the Cloud Atlas score, which is cracking. Cloud Atlas, I love the book. The film is interesting. The score is fantastic. So I would listen to that, and somebody got me that as a gift. They got me that as a gift around the same time as I never saw them ever again. So it was more of a sort of the whole us talking it was a sort of breakup really, and I said something about I love the Cloud Atlas soundtrack, and then I got that CD in the post. I haven't got it anymore. I left a lot of CDs in London, a lot of CDs and DVDs, and I want some of them now, and I left them all there, and I got some books as well that I left in London, and I feel very foolish now. Couldn't carry everything. So all the CDs and all my collection of DVDs and CDs and many books did not come with me. Grief! But I mean, my eyes are all dry and horrible, and I can't read properly anymore because my eyes, picky little eyes, oh, like a little dormouse. Anyway, nobody's here anymore. Not talking to me. Has anybody talked to me for the last 20 minutes? The thing's all gone away. Live chat. Hey, sorry, on the train. Can't really attend. Hope you had a great week. Oh, sorry. Hello. Sorry, I didn't see that, but if you're watching this back, Philip, have a nice journey. I hope it was good. Yes. I've booked my ticket to Edinburgh. I know when I'm going to Edinburgh, and I've half written my. I was gonna say film. Is it a play? It is a show. I've half written it. It's a sort of memoir stroke spoken word theatre piece with a few sketches or characters. I've written 5,000 words. It's not finished. I've read a few places that you need about 6,600 or something in order to have a 50-minute show. So it's a little bit short. I haven't really got an ending. I just need to stick some more stuff in, see how it works. But I'm a little bit worried still because I've still got to perform it. But it's got a few beats. But there's a few things I'm like, that's a bit grim. It's like when you're recounting your childhood and things that happened to you, sometimes it's not all as happy and jolly as you thought it was going to be. And you're like, maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe people will go, no, that's a bit much. Let's not hear about your traumatic bits in your childhood. That's too much. So it's too much. I think it is too much. There's a bit like, it's just like, you like repressed memories. And you're like, oh no. I don't think people want to, at 2:30 in the afternoon, whether people want to hear that. Whether people want to hear that is a bit much. So. Or maybe it's not enough. I don't know. But it's called Little Circus, and it's mainly focusing on the whole disappointment, the disappointment of life. That could be how it's summed up. But the thing is, right, because I'm trying to get some interviewees for my other show, for the recorded one, where I just interview people about their shows and stuff. And somebody approached me to say, hey, do you want, because I'm also down as being a sort of professional, like, industry person. So I can, a lot of people are saying, hey, come and see my show. I'm like, okay, maybe. So I might go and see people's shows. So I was like, yes, I'd love to see your show. Would you like to also be interviewed? And they said, oh, what about this day? And I'm like, no, because I've got like 4 spots that day. I've stacked up. I've got appearances in other people's shows. I'm doing like Political Breakfast and something about lovely comedians say poems or something. And then my own show. And then I'm interviewing somebody else on that day. And they said, oh, I've looked up your show on the internet. It looks really interesting and cool. And I'm like, oh no, because I hadn't at that point written anything down. I just had an idea, concept of a plan, to quote a quote. So that was interesting. Anyway, so I'm a little bit more confident. I need to work on it. And maybe it opens with a song, but I haven't really written the song. It's not a complicated song. So, but I'm not going to be able to bring my guitar, so I'm going to have to somehow retune this, or that's not my doghouse, please. That's not how it goes. Somebody, my little niece was up here playing with this, and I'm not going to blame her for having it out of tune, but it probably didn't help. But they go out of tune quite easily. I've got somewhere a better one, a better ukulele, a better ukulele, a better Robbie Williams. Can I conjure the devil with my guitar? Can I conjure the devil in his guitar? Almost certainly. Just can't play the guitar, so I probably can't conjure the devil. Anyway, so that was a recommendation from me that go and see Sinners, go see Better Man, and hopefully it'll get a better reception now that more people can see it, now that it's on streamings, because people did not like it when it was in the cinema, did they? No, not going to go and see that, they were saying, but you may as well if it's there anyway. And don't bother with State Fair. I would say that. It's a bit of a state, to be fair. Yeah, not the best. Not the best that I've ever seen. I would not watch it again. And I really had to hunt for that as well. It was, where is it? It's bound to be here in the house. La 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 la, there it is. I'm magic at finding things. That's my superpower. Where's this thing? I can find this thing that's been lost for ages. Like a Basil the Great Mouse Detective. I don't think, I've never seen that. I'm not sure that Basil the Great Mouse Detective, his superpower was finding lost DVDs. I think he was more like Sue Perkins. No, he was more like Sherlock Holmes, wasn't he? Possibly. I haven't seen it. So that's that. That's me for. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. Da-da-da. Boom, 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 da-da. Hey! That's that sort of dad concentrating mouth there. Yeah. Anyway, so that was that. This is this. Nobody's talking. Everybody's gone. Nobody's here. Oh, you're here. You are here. So some people are here, and now this is the end. This is the end. This is the end. The end. Hey. Hey. So hope you have a good week too. Yes, pleasant. The weather's been changeable. It's been rainy and then hot and then rainy and then hot and then rainy and hot and then hot and then rainy. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I've been a bit hay fevery. So have a lovely week, everybody, and go and watch all the films and then get back to me and we'll have a lovely conversation and stuff like that. Bye bye. See you soon.